We are finally live. Technical all the time, when you're traveling. So we're going to talk a little bit today. I know a lot of people have been messaging saying about this case in the UK, right, with freedom of speech and how it's becoming this big police state now where you can't really say anything. There was just the incident on Sunday, which I'm sure most of you are aware of now. We'll give you an update on this. And this was Alison Pearson, so the Guardian journalist, right, whose house, they called it a police raid on her house. I wouldn't say it was a police raid. They came to her door at 9:40 on Remembrance Sunday. I mean, the worst day possible to go and visit someone. So that's really, I'll be looking at the chat as we're going as well. We're just going to keep this informal. And I got Travis coming in. He's just going to come in a second. And we're just going to talk about the difference between the UK and the US with what's happening with free speech. Yeah, come and sit here, Travis. All right, here we go. We got the mic here, so Travis can just speak into.
You've only got one mic?
No, I got another one actually. Hold on,
let me say it's going to get really awkward if I got to speak.
Yeah. Well, hold on. That. Yeah, we're good. Okay, grab that one. Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about. I don't know if you saw the Alison Pearson, who was visited by the police.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is crazy. So I was looking over the report on it, and it doesn't make any sense. Here's the thing. It doesn't make any sense. This is yet again the police or it's the weaponization, I think we can say, of the police force or of these government agencies, right?
Oh, totally.
And we're seeing it in the US. I just saw this post today that the FBI has just raided in the US as well, the home of Polymarket CEO. Now, isn't that interesting? Because you saw this video as well, where I was talking about who I thought was going to win the election. Yeah. And I said, you look at Polymarket and they predicted Trump's going to win the election. Next thing you know, it's just been raided. Did you see this about the raid on them as well?
No, but they're raiding left and right. CEOs of companies that are like Telegram and things like that.
Yeah. It is just the weaponization of free speech. Now, a quick tip for everyone, because I've been going through this for many years now. They keep saying, right, that someone has made a complaint. So against Alison, I think we've got the details here. They said it was a complaint, and they wouldn't say who the complainant was, and they said that they're the victim. That's actually nonsense. They are not the victim, because for someone to be a victim, it's got to be proven in court.
Yeah. So
the best thing to do, because I've been reading some of these cases, and how people are getting convicted is they're when he says you have the freedom, or when the police officer says you have the right to remain silent, etc. etc. Do you understand? People say, yeah, and then they start saying things.
Yeah.
And this is what you want to avoid. As soon as you start talking and saying loads of stuff, this is where it's causing the issues. You want to try and beat. What do you think is happening in the US with freedom of speech?
Well, what's really scary is ever since we came over across the ocean and had to fight for our freedoms, right? Based off of tax, which is very interesting. We've constantly followed the UK. We've followed England. And what's really scary is we were running down that hole of tyranny right before this latest election, which honestly, in my opinion, still hasn't been finished yet, because we'll have to see the far left actually agree to this, right? It's very scary. And what's interesting, and actually I'm quite excited about this, I know this is scary, but we were talking the other day about an earthquake that just leveled Portugal and it reset, right? Well, we've seen resets not only happen throughout history with natural disasters, we've also seen them with economic collapses.
Yeah.
And right now, with Germany going into the gutter economically and other countries destabilizing in the euro, I'm actually, to be honest with you, hoping for this to happen to help everyone over in Europe right now, because there is so much tyranny, and watching what happened in the US the last 4 years was extremely scary. I mean, when you have owners of companies like Zuckerberg come out and say, yeah, I was pressured by the presidential administration, the Biden administration, to limit people's free speech, that is scary. And I think that we were literally on the road right into what the UK is doing right now.
I mean, the whole thing. Number one, you got to remember freedom of speech, or sorry, freedom of expression is actually a protected human right. And it's important that you're aware of that in case you ever get a knock on the door. And I wouldn't just say this to anyone. I'm saying this to my audience because, looking at the comments already, everything's gone off. I'm saying to my audience because I know a lot of you are the sort of people who do post, you do make a tweet or things like that, a post on X. You're the sort of people who do that. And it's only a matter of time really until we all get a knock on the door. And the Prime Minister actually himself has said, he's confirmed there is an ongoing non-crime hate review into Alison Pearson, who's a Guardian journalist. Why is there a I actually pulled up what she said, by the way. I actually pulled up where here it is somewhere. She posted a picture with some people with a flag and all this, and someone said that they were offended by the fact that she had posted that picture and that she was baiting. So that's all that person had to do. They just had to report it to the police. And what I find amazing, and I've said this so many times before, that when I've been the victim of crime, multiple times, the police say, oh, there's not enough evidence. Well, the CCTV, there's, this evidence. They say, oh, well, we need 4 pieces of evidence or whatever they say these days. So they don't really do anything. But yet someone is offended by a tweet that was made a year ago. And next thing you know, police are investigating it. And it's a massive thing, This is not a small thing.
Well, and we can't even say certain things on this platform right now.
I'm reading it here.
Yeah, because if we say what that is, we get shut down.
Yeah. So you can see a lot of... Actually, I've got the video. I've got an extract here. So you can listen to this, Hon. I'll get close to the screen.
9:40, himself came upstairs and looked a bit pale and said there's some police at the door. So I wasn't unduly bothered. I thought that's a bit strange. I went down, there were 2 Essex constables, and the one on the left said something about a non-crime hate incident. I thought I heard that correctly, and he said it was relating to a social media post a year ago. So I said, what was it? What was the offence? And he said it was stirring up racial hatred. So I just asked him to tell me what it was, what particular tweet and what words, and couldn't think of anything that would have stirred up racial hatred. I'm not in the habit of doing that. And then he said, we're not allowed to tell you. And then I said, can you tell me the name of the accuser? Because that might then give me a bit more information. And he said, no, we're not allowed to tell you that either. But they're not the accuser, they're called the victim. So that was interesting. And then I said, how am I supposed to defend myself if I don't know any of the details of what I'm being accused of? So it was deeply odd.
Yeah, deeply odd indeed. So this is going, let me put that back on. Deeply odd indeed. So this is going crazy because now people are starting to wake up to a lot of this, and you got people saying, the police didn't even investigate my burglary. They just gave, an insurance claim number. There's a story here. Izzy Pinchen's family home in Colchester was broken into. The theft of tens of thousands of pounds worth of valuables. And the police, it says, well, they dusted and did some interviews, but the case was closed within 2 weeks. There wasn't any evidence. And we keep talking about this, where the police say they haven't got enough resources to deal with crime, but yet they'll throw these resources at someone that was offended by a tweet or something like that. This is just going to get even worse. I mean, what do you think under a Trump presidency with... Because you saw the video I did... You messaged me and you said, oh, that video you did of Trump...
It was stellar.
Of what he's going to do with free speech and locking people up who breach free. What do you think is going to happen?
So this is what I absolutely believe is going to happen. I believe that Donald Trump is going to start to abolish and disassemble the federal government piece by piece. He's already made the announcement. We're done with the federal Department of Education. It's over. He's going to abolish that. He is going to start taking certain chunks and going, this is a waste, and we're going to throw it away. We're going to destroy it. As of right now, the U.S. government is the largest employer on earth. It needs to stop. You see, the government machine keeps getting bigger and bigger and sucking people in that just don't want to be entrepreneurs. They don't really want to be rich. They just want to live a good life and be left alone. There's nothing wrong with that. But the problem is when that machine keeps getting bigger and bigger and growing, it keeps sucking people in. And it's that old adage, don't feed the bears. Why? Because if you keep feeding the bears, they're always going to be around the campground and they're going to attack the people, the paying customers after time because they're looking for more free food. And that's what's happened with the government. It is absolutely going to get annihilated in the next 4 years. There's going to be a lot of pain that comes with that though. People have to understand it. But Neil and I were talking about it this morning. I woke up and I have this overwhelming sense of joy and excitement over the year 2025 because as rough as things get, all I see is prosperity coming, opportunities coming. If you didn't see the opportunities or during the Great Recession, you missed out. And I have a feeling there's a lot of people in Europe, in Australia, and the United States that really felt like they missed out. Like, man, I should have been ready. I could have taken such advantage. Well, I want you to be ready now. And that's what you were feeling the same way, right? You're seeing this just overwhelming sense of excitement coming because you paged me like in the middle of the night when he won. And it was exciting,
Yeah. I'm just going through all these. I mean, it's absolutely crazy. I'm just going through all of these incidents that are ongoing at the moment of people, and I'm just reading the stream as well of people saying that they were burgled or there was a crime, and it wasn't prosecuted. I mean, I actually spoke to. I'm not sure if I told you guys this, but I actually spoke to a police officer a while back, and he said to me, it's so hard now to prosecute. You've got to have so much evidence. It's so difficult to get things to court. And then he said, with certain people who are committing the crime, do you deport in the US if someone's not legally in the country?
Not right now, but that's been announced. It's about to get huge.
Yeah, and he's talking about people just come back into the country, and he was explaining all this stuff. And that some certain crimes like car theft and things like that, you're saying that it's proportionately certain gangs. So these are criminal organizations.
Oh yeah.
And then they ship them to other parts of Europe and stuff like that. So it's explaining it all. It's getting crazy how everything is. It really, really is. And I think we just got to be very careful. I'm hoping that things will turn around, but I don't think it's going to turn around in the UK for a long time yet. I just can't see it. Not under this government, not under a Labour government. I think if anything, they'll probably make it even worse. And they're still after Elon Musk,
Oh yeah.
They're still after him. That's still ongoing from July, where they want him to appear at a summons, which he just laughs off. Obviously, it's not going to appear. But hate crime incidents are up triple digits, as they call them, or hate non-crime incidents. So it's not even a criminal offence, but the police still investigate this sort of stuff. Go ahead.
I don't know how the police in the UK feel or in Europe, but in America, a lot of them have quit. They are becoming depressed because they are being forced to enforce new laws that are not lawful. And that's what's really scary. It's you can't do your job. Yeah. I couldn't do my job as a firefighter at a certain point. I mean, everybody in the fire department were getting awards for jokes. It was a joke. It's not like you were doing anything noble anymore. It's no joke. Everybody gets a trophy, even in the services, military services and stuff like that, where I live. It's horrible.
Cool. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. I'm just going through the comments and stuff here, but I think a lot of people feel the same way about a lot of things going on. Yeah. I really hope that something reverses here, but I just don't know how this is going to get resolved, especially in Europe, with an EU president who isn't even elected by the people. You know that? The EU. Yeah.
You're back to kings and queens.
Yeah, you got basically three presidents within the EU, not even elected. I don't know how this is going to get resolved. And the Ireland, do you know about the Ireland? No. Okay, so because these social media companies are headquartered in Ireland now, because their headquarters there, Ireland is setting these laws which affect pretty much everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, and they're not even Irish laws. They're coming out of the EU.
And they did it to get away from tax
Yeah,
at the first
yeah.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's our wives calling us now. So we better wrap
We're
up
gonna
the
get in
stream.
trouble.
I said I've got to do a quick stream,
Go
5
without
minutes,
us.
and then I couldn't even get it loaded up. All right, so
You're having problems with your equipment.
Yeah, yeah, it was. But thanks so much for being online. I always promise 3 videos a week, so I have to do one. So,
Oh yeah, you're all chilling,
yeah.
so all of a sudden you got to do a video.
Yeah. All right. Take care, guys. God bless. Bye
you
for
guys.
now.